The objective of this video is multiplying binomials with leading coefficients greater than 1. So we've already learned how to multiply two binomials together, and so nothing changes with the process that we take just because our coefficients have numbers greater than 1. We're still going to follow the process of the FOIL method if you choose to look at it that way, which means multiply the first terms together, which would be the 3x times the x, multiply the outer terms together, which would be the 3x and the 7 together, and then the inner terms would be the negative 5 and the x, and then the last terms together would be the negative 5 and the negative 7. The only difference is we just have numbers that are not 1. And so if you watched my previous lesson on the FOIL method, I don't technically teach FOIL more so as I teach to distribute. And so I just teach to take the 3x and distribute it over to everything. And so 3x times x would be 3x squared, and then 3x times the negative 7 would be negative 21x. And so now the 3x is done, and then you just take the negative 5 and distribute it over. And so negative 5 times x would be negative 5x, and negative 5 times negative 7 would turn that into a positive 35. And then your last step would be just to combine the like terms that you have, and we can add an x with an x. And so this is just going to be 3x squared, a negative 21, and a negative 20, or not 25, but a negative 21 and a negative 5 would give me negative 26x. And then you still have your plus 35 at the end, and there is your answer, your simplified answer. So again, just kind of going through a few more examples. None of the process is going to change. It's all going to stay the same. It's just you got to pay attention to what you're multiplying together, and you just have numbers bigger than ones here. So here, 5x minus 1 times 4x plus 7. We work this same way. We're just using the FOIL method by distributing 5x times 4x, and you can kind of break this down in just the like terms together. 5x times 4x. Well, 5 times 4 is 20, and x times x is x squared. And then 5x times 7 will be, well, the 5 times the 7 is 35, and then you just have the x with it. Negative 1 times 4x is just going to be negative 4x, and then negative 1 times 7 will be negative 7. Combine any like terms that you have, which I do. I've got some x's I can combine here. And so bringing everything down, the 20x squared comes down because there's nothing to combine it with. 35 minus 4 leaves me with 31x, and then we just have our minus 7 there at the end. And then one more, 5 plus 4x times 4 minus 7x. And so the difference here on this one is the x's are at the end instead of at the beginning, but that doesn't change anything with the way that we work it out. We're still distributing or using the FOIL method if you prefer to think of it that way. And so distribute the 5 over. 5 times 4 is going to give me 20. And 5 times negative 7x, well, 5 times negative 7 is negative 35, and there's an x there. And then we're just distributing the 4x over. So 4x times 4 gives me 16x, and then 4x times negative 7x. So you can break that down. 4 times negative 7 is negative 28, and x times x is x squared. I don't think I can squeeze that on there. Barely. There we go. And then combine any like terms that you have. Again, we have some x's here in the middle that we can combine. So we have 20, negative 35, and positive 16 gives me negative 19x minus 28x squared. Okay, so again, either use the distributive property, use the FOIL method. Just pay attention that you may have numbers and x's to multiply together, and you just multiply your like parts together and then combine any like terms that you have.